Hello, my name is Bill Purvis and I am the Chief Commercial Officer at Brains Bioceutical. We are going to talk about cannabinoids and why we believe that cannabinoids and CBD in particular represent a new frontier for medical science. Brains Bioceutical is a cannabinoid research and development company which is focused on developing evidence-based cannabinoid health solutions to enhance life and treatment options for patients. We have recently partnered with DSM, a global pharmaceutical ingredients provider and leader in health nutrition and bioscience, to establish an innovation platform to explore the potential of CBD-based therapies using our natural-derived THC-free CBD active pharmaceutical ingredient. You will hear from Kelsey Achenbach, the Senior Director Pharma and Medical Nutrition at DSM, and Dean Billington, who is the Chief Operating Officer at Brains Bioceutical, about the opportunities we see for CBD research and development. We will explore the exciting opportunities that exist with the heightened interest and demand for cannabinoid health solutions and elaborate as to why we believe that now is the time to embark on a CBD research and business strategy. The Cbd Pharmaceuticals market holds huge growth potential, which has been driven by renewed scientific interest in the medical use of CBD and growing evidence across multiple therapeutic areas. At the same time, the regulatory landscape is well established for CBD actives in a lot of countries. Early-stage drug development plays a critical role in expanding treatment options and needs to be supported by the reliable supply of pharmaceutical-grade CBD actives. Now let's hear from Kelsey about why DSM and Brains have established an innovation platform to allow companies to explore the full therapeutic potential of CBD-based pharmaceuticals in a rapidly evolving market.
It's the right time for DSM to enter the cannabinoid active market because we see such a need for additional research in central nervous system disorders as well as pain management. This is an area that cannabinoids have high potential. Cannabinoids are becoming more common in the consumer marketplace and in the world. Therefore, patients are feeling a little more comfortable taking them as therapy. In addition, the cannabinoid supply chain is complex. Our entry into this market is to help take the complexity out of the supply chain and really offer a solution for our customers. So why cannabinoids? Well, historically, cannabinoids have been used in the market to treat disorders such as epilepsy, also to help with pain management and appetite management for AIDS patients and cancer patients. We believe there's opportunity for continued research in this area in other CNS diseases. We're seeing over 150 active and ongoing clinical trials using cannabinoids, mainly for Alzheimer's, for bipolar disorders, for additional ways to treat pain management. DSM recognizes that innovation happens not only within our company, but in the pharmaceutical market. So we're partnering with a global leader in offering cannabinoid active ingredients, Brains Bioceutical, in order to offer a solution to the market. Brains Bioceutical is a pioneer in the cannabinoid active ingredient space with the capabilities to custom manufacture cannabinoids for our customer base. DSM is driven by a purpose-led vision, and this venture investment and commercial relationship is really focused on putting the patients first. How do we provide innovation into the pharmaceutical market so patients can have the best therapies possible? We believe that together with Brains, we can create opportunities for our customers to innovate with cannabinoids and deliver with a very secure and sustainable supply chain.
Now let's hear from Dean Billington about why we believe offering a naturally derived, highly purified THC-free CBD active pharmaceutical ingredient is so important.
Hello, I'm Dean Billington. I'm the Global Chief Operating Officer of Brains Bioceutical, and I'm also the General Manager of BSPG Laboratories, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Brains based in the UK, which are the manufacturers of the CBD API that we produce. I started off in the nuclear industry a long time ago, worked through the nuclear industry into the private water industry, and then worked for a company called Colorcon and developed a contract analytical testing laboratory, where I stayed for 10 years and built that up to one of the premier contract testing laboratories in the UK. So that was all types of testing: analytical testing, stability testing, method development, validation, and then moved into clinical trials with Fisher Clinical and a number of other companies. So I'm a QP for investigation medicinal products, which means I can legally release clinical trials materials to the studies. So Brains acquired a company in the UK called BSPG Laboratories in 2019. BSPG Laboratories had been in existence since 2015, and their original remit was to develop a high purity CBD. And that emanated from the original owner of the company, who had done some research into CBD and had done some traveling, particularly to Brazil, and he'd met a number of children who effectively were taking CBD for epilepsy, but had significant levels of THC. And as a result of that, there were significant side effects, particularly for children. So red eyes, children are very lethargic, and also has a negative effect on the development of the brain. And his view was that BSPG as a company could do better from a CBD perspective. And that's where it all started. So there are many companies in the world who claim to have high quality CBD API, active pharmaceutical ingredient. The reality is very few do, and we have the best material. And one of the measures of that quality of the material is actually the content of THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, which is the other component best known, I guess, in cannabis, marijuana, etc. But THC is a psychoactive, and obviously CBD is not a psychoactive. So the whole idea is to remove as much THC as you possibly can. There is no THC in our CBD. We have a limit of detection which goes down to 0.04%, and actually scientifically there simply is none present. And that's been evaluated by both our analytical testing facilities in-house, a number of independent laboratories, independent customers, and it's also been verified by the laboratory which is certified by the World Anti-Doping Agency for absence of THC. In addition, we've sent samples to EDQM in Strasbourg because we're working on a European pharmacopoeia monograph for CBD. So simply no THC. The molecule is very well characterized. It's a natural product derived from industrial hemp. Natural is very beneficial both from a scientific perspective because the plant naturally gives us a single enantiomer, a single isomer, whereas with synthetic products you will get multiple isomers which then need to be separated. And there's a general preference by the user for a natural product. So the endocannabinoid system within the body is still being understood by the medical community. We know that the endocannabinoid system consists of CB1 and CB2 receptors. So from a CBD perspective, we know that it can't be a purely placebo effect because it manifests itself in physical benefits, i.e. people who have significant issues with, for example, arthritis, after they've taken CBD for an extended period of time, show real relief in terms of the arthritic condition and their ability and maneuverability that they have. So we've been manufacturing CBD since 2015. We've got data on over 250 batches that shows consistent quality. And what that means is for the parameters we define within the specification, which are both chemical and physical parameters, we get consistent data across those batches. And that's for all parameters. So impurities, which are particularly important, the CBD assay, the content of, or the purity of the CBD, as well as other physical parameters such as water content and residual solvents which are used in the manufacturing process. part of the focus that we've had, as well as manufacturing the high quality product, is to have the supporting data for that product. And we've been gathering that data since 2015. So for example, we have stability data to support a 3-year, 36-month retest period. That includes Zone 4B, which is some of the Latin American countries. So typically that would be up to 30 degrees centigrade, 75% relative humidity. And we compile all of that data, and we're continually adding to those data packs. So we have a DMF filed with the US FDA, Drug Master File. We have an ASMF, which is the European equivalent. We also support companies and clinical organizations where clinical trials are being conducted with a drug substance section of the Investigational Medicinal Product dossier. And we will support customers in parallel to them using our material in terms of data generation and supporting any clinical applications that they may make to their competent authorities. So it's currently being used in a phase 3 clinical trial in Brazil. We've got around about 15 clinical trials that have been completed using specifically our molecule, and that's on a whole range of indications, all the way from refractive epilepsy, which is obviously where CBD started, through to insomnia, alcohol dependency, and more recently opiate dependency studies that are ongoing. So we have one significant customer in Brazil, which is Prati Dona Ducci, which is a very large Brazilian generics company. And we've been working with them since 2015. They've been buying material from us since 2015, and that is to support a study in refractive epilepsy. And that's at phase 3. Their plan is to submit a marketing authorization. Originally, without COVID, it would have been the end of this year. COVID has obviously had an effect on that. So likely sometime in 2022, they will apply for a marketing authorization. Studies been done at University of Sao Paulo, some universities in the Netherlands. We also have some ongoing studies with University of Melbourne in Australia. And there are a number of other studies which are in the pipeline, including the opiate study I mentioned earlier with a large East Coast institution in the US. So it's manufactured in the UK by BSPG Laboratories. We're based down in Sandwich in Kent. It's actually the old Pfizer research and development facility that's been turned into a science park. So we have a facility there. We are currently building a new facility on the same site. Current facility is around about 4,000 square foot. The new facility, in addition to that, will be 22,000 square foot. And that will give us about 8 times capacity for CBD initially, but as a cannabinoid company, potential ability to manufacture as well as developing other cannabinoids going forward, such as isomers of THC, CBN, CBG. Our main business is the API, the active pharmaceutical ingredient, so that would go to the customer as a white crystalline solid that they could then formulate into a specific product, a specific dosage form. We do have unlicensed medicines in the UK, which is CBD in an oil format, which enables you to dose titrate doses as required, and that's available as an unlicensed medicine under prescription in the UK. We have the ability to manufacture oils. We also have other dosage forms such as CBD capsules, hard gelatin capsules with CBD in a fat matrix to aid absorption, because we know that CBD is absorbed faster by the body when fats and lipids are present. And we've got a number of ongoing R&D activities looking at other cannabinoids and other mechanisms of delivery. So some lipid technology that may enhance bioavailability. Typical bioavailability of CBD is between 6 and 12%. But there's known technology that has been applied to other molecules that could potentially increase that bioavailability to maybe 30-40%, which would be very significant, because that would mean that you could actually give a lower dose and have the same effect, or you could give a higher dose without incurring the known side effects, which are very few, but they do exist with CBD, which is typically the liver enlargement. So CBD in terms of therapeutic areas is very interesting. Obviously the best known one is refractive epilepsy, and that's the one that's most established. That's the one that GW Pharmaceuticals developed originally for Epidiolex. Difference with our molecule in oil and the Epidiolex is that Epidiolex contains about 8% alcohol, also contains antioxidants and flavorings, and ours contains nothing at all other than the oil and the CBD. But there are a number of areas that people are looking at. So insomnia is one, muscle inflammation, muscle recovery from sports injuries is a second one, and we have some proof of concept studies ongoing currently looking at those elements. Potential for PTSD, Alzheimer's, psychosis. There's a large number of study areas that companies are looking at. The challenge with CBD is CBD has been around for many years, but there's a lack of data to support clinical, and unfortunately anecdotal data is not admissible to the regulatory authorities as justification for commercialization. So these studies need to be undertaken. To do that, you need a high quality product, because what you want to be doing is focusing on the effects of the CBD. In terms of the thinking behind cannabis-based medicines, it tends to be in two different areas. The one area is giving cannabis. If it works, don't worry too much about which element causes that effect. Cannabis as a mixture contains CBD, contains THC. There's 144 cannabinoids that are known, and there are probably another 1,000 compounds in the cannabis plant overall, terpenes, flavonoids, etc. And we don't really know what effect each of those individual compounds has. The approach that BSPG and Brains has taken is that we want to study each cannabinoid individually, fully understand the effects that those cannabinoids have, and then potentially combine them to give different medications going forward for different indications. So within the UK, CBD is not classed as a controlled substance under the Misuse of Drugs Regulations 2001. So we're free to manufacture that product. We are registered with the MHRA as an API manufacturer. We also have GMP, Good Manufacturing Practice Certification, and Good Distribution Practice Certification for the CBD API that we manufacture, and that's both for human and veterinary use. The material is certified non-GMO. The material is kosher certified also, and also halal certified. So we have a whole host of accreditations, if you like, or recognitions in terms of the purity of the CBD API that we manufacture. So from the UK, there are no restrictions for exporting pure CBD, which is obviously the product that we manufacture. Countries around the world have different regulations. In some countries, it's considered to be a controlled substance or a narcotic. In other countries, it isn't. So it's very country specific. We currently make a pharma grade API. We are looking at a nutrigrade CBD also, but currently the CBD API we use has been used in a number of toxicology studies to support a novel food application both in the EU and the UK. Many companies who've made an application for novel foods, as it's called, have actually relied upon literature data, and principally that means data generated by GW. For our applications, all of our data is based upon toxicology studies that we have done ourselves. We've commissioned over the last 18 months, and it's based purely on our molecule. So we have one product on sale in the UK via Vitabiotics, Brains Vitabiotics CBD products, and they have been on sale for the last 6 months.
So, what does the future look like? There has been renewed scientific interest in the medical use of cannabinoids and CBD following the recent discovery of the endocannabinoid system in humans. This is a complex cell signaling system that regulates multiple functions and processes. Research into the endocannabinoid system has given us valuable information that CBD and other cannabinoids could offer exciting breakthroughs for unsatisfied therapeutic diseases, including a whole range of conditions beyond epilepsy, pain, oncology, and inflammation. Early stage development with CBD could significantly expand treatment options, and CBD-based medicines also offer the opportunity to expand key pharmaceutical assets and franchises. We can support these development activities through the provision of natural, THC-free pharmaceutical-grade CBD actives, together with customized manufacturing finished dosage form solutions, and by providing quality, regulatory, and scientific support services. We will continue our research into CBD actives, including enhanced CBD ingredient formulations and CBD drug delivery systems, and we are actively looking at developing other pharmaceutical-grade cannabinoids such as delta-8 THC and delta-9 THC, as well as other minor cannabinoids such as CBN and CBG. Our goal is to be your trusted partner for the development of over-the-counter and prescription cannabinoid and CBD-based medicines, and this includes looking at innovative ways to structure partnership arrangements to support the evolution of CBD research and development of CBD-based medicines. In summary, we believe that this is the time to be embarking on a CBD product development strategy. There is an exciting window of opportunity in a rapidly growing market. And the Brains DSM innovation platform will enable companies to realize the full therapeutic potential of CBD-based pharmaceuticals.